just want 30 seconds of me dancing.
I'm not doing that. Why do you even need this?
But Dad, I would have a better chance of getting into a dance company if I had more followers.
Grady, your mother and I worked very hard to create better opportunities for you and your sister. The only school you need is one that will further your education. It's just not something that we consider a career choice. Dancing is a hobby.
Dance for me, we see this like unlikely friendship form between these two people who come from very different worlds, but yet they have this similar desire and love for dance, and both share this similar feeling that this is something that they can't do. One, because it's against their family's desires for them. The other, because they're nearing the end of their life and they, aren't able to dance the way that they used to. And it's a very interesting dynamic. You do see how they kind of included the hot topic of today as far as, how people from different cultures, white versus black, will view people. And a lot of times you will hear about young black men needing to be warned and young black women needing to be warned about how they're going to be perceived as violent, based off how society views young black men and women. And I thought that was very interesting how they added that in there, very important and timely. I loved how dancing for each other became a way that they bonded. And the daughters, when we finally meet them, to me, they feel like they represent varying ways that people of color, Black people in particular, are seen. You have the one who is looks more like the ally, or representing more of the ally, if you will, who is leading with understanding and inclusiveness. And then you have the one that is leading with fear and negativity, and automatically assuming the worst because of the way this person looks and how he comes across. One of my favorite devices that they use in cinematography is the slow running scene after he speaks with his mother, and she kind of hints that there could be an issue with the health. He runs immediately to visit his neighbor, and it's this slow running scene intercut with these images of their time together. And I felt like his level of concern was captured very, very eloquently in that scene. And then there was the dance. It was actually, I got emotional actually watching it. I wasn't mentally prepared for how emotional I got watching it. And maybe it's because I've lost someone recently, but it was just such a beautiful display. And it was so emotional. Watching everyone respond to it, watching him respond to it, is almost like they were dancing with one another. It was just such a lovely conclusion to this film. And then, realizing that the family is seeing his love for something, and that he's going to do it not only for himself, but for her, to carry on her legacy. And then the father kind of stepping back and seeing his son for the first time. It was all a nice culmination of the message of the film in that last scene.
Dance for me, I thought this was so beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really wholesome and really lovely. The dancing was incredible. I loved the perspective on dance. I loved the idea that he is just wanting to dance and feeling like he's not being heard or understood at home, or there's too much pressure surrounding school, that he really does find haven with this neighbor down the street, and that he helps her in dances and learns about dance. And I thought it was so beautiful. And they also do bring up bigger ideas and concepts especially with her being an older woman and him being a younger black man, and you know, their friendship or what he does around the house or how he got into the house, things like that, that I think are important to bring up because those are real life issues and they just shouldn't be ignored. They should be talked about. But I liked how they brought them up. I thought it was well done. And then having the moment at the end with her funeral and the final dance, I thought was so, so beautiful and such a lovely way to, you know, honor her one last time. I thought it was great overall. I really enjoyed it.
This was a really enjoyable film. I'm always really into relationship exploration, and the relationship between mentor and student here is just really a fascinating one, especially with all the sort of surrounding or peripheral tensions due to race. Uh, that stuff was played really well here, smartly, and also, I mean, very topical now too. The whole thing was just done really well. Some of the dialogue was just felt a little canned, but um, all in all, it was really a strong film that I thoroughly enjoyed. So really, hats off to everyone involved.
This film is called Dance for Me. This heartfelt short was excellent. It actually brought me to tears. An unusual friendship happens between a black youth who wants to be a dancer and an elderly white neighbor. They share their love for dance. I like the fond chemistry between the leads, very subtle performances. The writing was well done as it touched on racial bias and parents supporting their children's dreams. I like the idea of using her old dance movie throughout the film, and great ending and resolution. Excellent location of the neighborhood, and the dramatic soundtrack kept the emotions high in the film. Well done.
I just watched Dance for Me, the short film. I really liked this film. I thought it is a very special film with many different messages, actually, about race, about being judgmental or not with the two daughters, how one was and the other one wasn't. The creative arts, when somebody wants to have a career in it, how it relates to your family and the family dynamic there, and just getting outside of your own struggles and helping somebody else, like, and how that can turn into something so much bigger. And I just loved the scenes where this guy was in this woman's house and they were bonding over dancing. I so loved that, and how he got her up and dancing for him too. And then at her wake, or her, I guess it's more of a celebration of life scene, it was such a special scene where he was dancing to the projected vision of her dancing. It was just so well done and so cute, as far as some of the moments with him and the older woman, and the family moments. Just, I really, really liked this, and I think it will do well. Great job, everyone.
Dance for Me was a really beautiful short about a black child and an elderly white former dancer, and the bond that they have over their love for dance, and you know, addressing obvious issues that would come up with this, racial bias, parental support, and you just really watch this lovely friendship blossom over the piece, as well as see some good resolution to the issues that they bring up. I think this played out really well. It was a really beautiful story. The setting and the scoring of the piece really added to it, and the score specifically, it made the story flow really well, and it matched, and it did that beautiful thing where, you know, tears are welling up in your eyes and the music wells up as well, and it just all fits together really well. But it was a really, really beautiful story and really well done.